Some stories stay with us forever, not because of how they ended, but because they ended too soon. Fame can lift people higher than they ever imagined, but it can also crush them from the inside out. Today, we're counting down 10 famous artists and celebrities who died young and tragically. Some of them you know, some you might have forgotten. And number 4, you might not even know about her. Let's begin. 10. Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy lit up every scene she was in. From Clueless to 8 Mile, she had that spark. Quirky, lovable, and full of life. But in 2009, at just 32 years old, Brittany collapsed in her bathroom and died. The official cause? Pneumonia. But everything about it felt off. Her husband gave bizarre interviews. There were whispers of toxic mold in the house. 5 months later, he died too. Same house, same room, same vague explanation. Some say it was neglect. Others still suspect foul play. Whatever the truth is, Brittany's death left a lot of questions and a lot of heartbreak. 9. Mac Miller. Mac Miller was more than a rapper. He was a producer, a multi-instrumentalist, and honestly, a deeply thoughtful person. His music went from frat party anthems to raw, vulnerable meditations on depression and loneliness. Just months after releasing his album Swimming, Mac was found dead in his Los Angeles home. It wasn't just drugs, it was fentanyl, laced into what he thought was a normal pill. That one decision cost him his life. He was 26, and he didn't just die, he was poisoned. The dealer was eventually sentenced, but the damage was done. 8. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger didn't just play the Joker, he became him. When The Dark Knight came out, people were stunned. It was terrifying, brilliant, unforgettable. But what no one expected was that Heath wouldn't be alive to see it. He died months before the premiere, alone in his Manhattan apartment. A mix of sleeping pills, anti-anxiety meds, and painkillers. It wasn't intentional, but it was a cry for rest. People close to him said he'd been struggling. He wasn't sleeping. He was carrying too much. He left behind a daughter and a performance that will never be matched. He was 28. 7. Janis Joplin. Janis wasn't just a singer. She was a storm in a dress, rough, wild, soulful, and completely original. She rose fast in the late 60s. Her voice tore through the air like nothing anyone had heard. But the pain behind that voice was real. She was lonely. She drank too much. She used heroin to cope. And in October 1970, she overdosed in her hotel room, alone. She was 27, another member of the 27 Club. Gone, but still howling through the speakers like she never left. 6. Tupac Shakur. Tupac wasn't just a rapper, he was a movement. He wrote about police brutality, systemic racism, and injustice decades before it was trending. But he also lived fast. He was always in the middle of something: drama, violence, paranoia. And in 1996, it caught up with him. He was shot in a drive-by in Las Vegas and died 6 days later. To this day, no one's been officially charged. Some blame gang wars. Others point to the FBI. Some even think he faked his death and escaped to Cuba. What we do know, he was only 25, and no one has filled the space he left behind. If you're still watching and finding this interesting, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I've got more stories like this coming soon. All right, Let's keep going. 5. Dolores O'Riordan. You might not recognize her name right away, but you've heard her voice. Dolores O'Riordan was the haunting powerhouse behind the Cranberries. Zombie, Linger, Dreams, all her. Her voice was aching and urgent, just like her life. She struggled for years with depression, bipolar disorder, and trauma. In 2018, during a recording trip to London, she drowned in her hotel bathtub after drinking heavily. She was just 46. Her death was ruled accidental, but it felt so final, like the end of a sound that once cut straight through you. Number 4. Elliott Smith. Here's the one that might surprise you. Elliott Smith was an indie legend. His songs were quiet, but full of razor-sharp sadness. If you've ever seen Good Will Hunting, you've heard him. In 2003, he died. 2 stab wounds to the chest. The coroner ruled it suicide, but there were no hesitation marks, no fingerprints on the knife. People who knew him, even his ex, said he'd been turning his life around. Was it really suicide? Or was there more to the story? No one knows, and no one ever found out. He was 34. 3. Kurt Cobain. You already know this one. Kurt Cobain was the reluctant face of grunge. He hated the fame, hated interviews, hated how misunderstood he felt. He had chronic pain, depression, addiction, and too many people telling him who to be. In 1994, he was found dead at his home in Seattle. Shotgun wound, suicide note, and a final quote: "It's better to burn out than to fade away." He was 27, and when he died, something in music died with him. Number 2, Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse was electric, a voice from another era, like Billie Holiday reborn with eyeliner and tattoos. But she was also hunted by tabloids, cameras, and her own demons. She drank, she relapsed, she tried to recover, but no one protected her. Not really. In 2011, she died of alcohol poisoning. She was 27. The last words she reportedly said: "I don't want to die." She didn't deserve to. Number 1, Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury lived like a king. On stage, he was a god, commanding stadiums with a flick of the wrist. But off stage, he kept his private life hidden, especially his health. He had AIDS, and he knew the world would judge him for it. So he stayed silent until the very end. In 1991, he finally went public with his diagnosis. The very next day, he died. He was 45, and his death changed everything. It put HIV in the headlines and forced people to start talking. Freddie lived big, and when he left, the silence was deafening. These aren't just celebrities. They were voices, visions, hearts taken too soon. Some burned out, some were taken, but every one of them left something behind. Who surprised you the most? Whose story hit you hardest? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Because some stories deserve to be remembered.